I don't understand.
None of this is checking out. I've Giants bets pre-flop are lost. This team is lost. Um, I don't know what this last 2 minutes has been.
This has been very puzzling from both teams, like what they're deciding to do. Like if you get the ball back with like 30 seconds and you're thinking about maybe getting into a long field goal spot, why are you running the ball? And then why are you going out of bounds?
Why did you
If
take a
you're trying to,
timeout just to run that play?
why did you take a timeout to run on first down again?
What
I am flummoxed.
this whole half of football has really offended the senses.
It's offended the taste.
Yes,
yeah.
The Giants tackling was on that Fant catch and run.
Oof,
oh
not
my
great,
god!
Bob.
Coverage was embarrassing to start with, but then the tackling after that was something else. The fact that the Giants can't really get a pass rush going, despite the fact that we're on like what O-line 6 through 11 for the Seahawks here. Like they've lost their entire everybody. They're down to the second unit across the board here, and still the Giants can't get a lick of pass rush going. I don't really know what the plan is offensively for the Giants. They look completely fucking lost. Daniel Jones looked worse than he looked as a rookie. Like what the hell?
You have Wandale and Paris, and they're the same guy, and you're using them in middling ways, but you don't need both of them. You're running Breed up the middle. He's good for what? And he's had a couple nice catches. Like those have been nice outlet passes when he's
2.6 a carry for Breida. Yeah.
2.6 a carry, but we're just still going to run them right in the middle, even though Seattle is absolutely crashing down on your run plays,
destroying
running into boxes. I mean, I haven't seen a box less than 7 that they ran into. A lot of stacked boxes. You got safeties that are essentially linebackers. They're coming up really fast. Like none of these runs are going anywhere except some of the outside little motion sweeps and whatnot. And then the pass selection has been very odd. Your leading target getter, or I guess Wandale does have one more, but Breida's got a good chunk of the targets as well. The fumble was unfortunate. It's hard to feel that pressure coming from behind. Put your arm out like that.
Yeah, that play broke down though, and he didn't check out of it. He should have checked long before it got to that point. There was like three guys in the backfield on jailbreak.
And not just because I have a prop on him, but why not get Waller involved? Like that was the one of the key additions. He got one target, one catch, and then we won't even talk about it because I'm not going to waste my time on it. But the end of the half there, where they just kept like taking timeouts and stuff, to run the ball up the middle for 3 yards. Very, very odd behavior.
I guess we got to handicap the second half. Are we assuming this is now the Drew Lock show for the remainder? I know that all the reports are saying Geno Smith is questionable. People reported that he came out of the tent and put his helmet on. I don't know if that doesn't really signify a guy that's not looking to come back in the game. What do you think?
Brinson had a good tweet about this.
Does it matter?
I don't. Yeah, Locke hasn't been horrible. Sometimes the backup comes in and isn't bad because they didn't prep. Not like he's some completely different quarterback. But Geno was running around. Brinson tweeted something about the Jamal Adams thing. He said the NFL is quietly laying down the law behind the scenes on in-game concussion evaluation and next week management, which I think has been pointed out as far as like these people who are getting into the protocol, they're just not getting to play that next week. That's been kind of an ongoing theme. And this in-game stuff too, I think they're being much quicker and harder on it as far as not letting players go back in unless you play for the Bears, which I still wonder about that one. But I'm assuming he cleared it because they'd given him his helmet back. I know they take it away, but there's also a secondary injury apparently that they're talking about, that he might be dinged up elsewhere. That tackle on the sideline was pretty nasty.
It was. The Giants fans booed their team leaving. That's satisfying to me because they deserve to be booed. That was an appalling half of football and an appalling first 4 games of the season. You know what's really going to help things, Andy? the Giants get the Dolphins and the Bills the next 2 games. This unit that's can't tackle for shit. They're going to now face Tyreek Hill. Good luck. And then the mighty Buffalo Bills. So I mean, this Giants season is dead on arrival. I don't think that there is anything you can take away as a positive for this team for this year at this point. I think they're going to be 1-5, and with one of the bigger scoring margin disparities across the football. I don't really even see anything to look forward to as you get later into the season here in the schedule for them. The Giants,
I don't want a second half play because I don't want to watch the second half, but also it's probably just a prop play because like this total is probably right where it needs to be. These teams have moved the ball, but not with a lot of success at times. You have a backup quarterback in. You have a bad game plan from the Giants, but at the same time, I'm not wanting to get in bed with an under here with these defenses. These defenses are kind of beat up.
Yeah.
The fact that you're seeing some really nice play from a couple spots. Witherspoon is all over the place right now. Woolen has been getting up in the box and making tackles too. But like these are defenses that have been missing pieces, and I don't know. There's plenty of decent offensive weapons. I worry about this under. I don't know what the Giants' game plan coming out is going to be.
I don't know either. I mean, they're probably telling themselves positive stuff in some regards. I mean, they outgained the Seahawks in the first half. They they had a couple of the fourth down stop obviously was mattered. The sacks have been impactful. I don't know, man. I don't know where they go.
It's fun. Yeah, the Giants probably were the better offense for a good portion of this, despite what happened. Seattle really got most of their offense on the one really big play to Fant. They were under 100 yards before that. It wasn't looking good. They were 2 for.
They just haven't had the ball. They just haven't had the ball. They way too many penalties for the Seahawks especially on offense. That's been stymieing them. They Giants had a bunch of long drives at 8:00 and materialized 3 points. So we just haven't seen much Seahawks. I'm assuming we're going to get Drew Lock for the duration here. I'm assuming that the Giants defense cannot realistically make an adjustment to get pressure on Drew Lock, despite the fact that this is the second unit for the Seahawks offensive line, which makes me think there's probably going to be points in the second half. We would take 21.5 over.
Yeah, let's just take it over and watch it wither again. The over was always a good. I felt the over was a good bet pregame, and then I watched the first quarter and felt foolish, but. These are teams that hadn't got a lot of pass rush. These are teams that are very beatable in the secondary, and we're just not seeing, the I don't know. Dable's game plan has been real rough. They need to make a big adjustment. To be fair, we did see some good adjustments from the Giants in the second half of games last year. Even, games they didn't necessarily win, we saw decent adjuststance. So
we got two 20 and a half.
Over lens, Giants being successful leads itself to an over.
Yeah, we got a 20.5 minus 119 is the price at Chris. I'm just going to take that. God, this game sucks. I feel like an idiot for believing that the Giants, with extra time to prep, were going to have anything special cooked up. They look lost. They look completely lost.
Especially after the Eagles had this exact same situation before, and they came out and looked pretty damn good. Yeah.
Be rad. Yeah. Giants made some great adjustments in week 1. They turned that game right into something. And honestly, like
that game was out of hand against a much better defense. That was a very high end defense. It still had Diggs.
Yeah, I gotta ask you, man. Like this Seahawks defense is not that good. Like they're not. They're really not. And the fact that the Giants offense looks this bad and that Jones is kind of literally, performing at this level, is there something about him playing in primetime where he just sucks? Like, is that a thing actually? Because like I saw all the numbers floating around, and you're like, well, yeah. But that's skewed because they're always playing Dallas, and they're always they're playing good teams, and they're getting beat.
He was like an under. It was like 0-10 in primetime, where it was somebody went and looked. They were an underdog in like every one of those games.
Yeah, right.
And a lot was like the Joe Judge year.
Yeah, sure.
So I mean,
sure.
Grain of salt there.
Yeah, but like now I'm watching this and I'm like, oh, actually, maybe not. Maybe he does choke under pressure. Maybe he doesn't play well under the lights. Like that's entirely possible. There's players like that. so especially quarterbacks. I don't know, man. This is fucking bad though, because Seattle's defense is not good enough to be doing this to you.
Somebody asked a good question. I skipped over it because we were kind of in the midst of talking about this game. What do you think Giants Dolphins reopens at?
10.5.
I would say just 10 juicy. I was gonna be like 10 minus 20, and then it just gets bet out to 11 right away, and then you see some buyback.
I mean, the Dolphins team total over is going to be a touchdown too low, probably 28 and a half.
It should
probably be 30. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants don't have the personnel to be running the defense that they're running, and now apparently they also can't generate pressure, and they can't tackle. So good luck against the Dolphins.
Have fun with that. Yeah. 11:53.5 says the half.
It's a good guess.
Like it.
Yeah. This is just frustrating. This freaking Giants team made the playoffs last year, won a playoff game. They beat your Vikings. And presumably they came into this year stronger, and they have just been an absolute waste so far. And
I feel like I should say something nice about the Giants, because I've just been shitting on them on the timeline in here as well. But the Simmons pickup, he looks like he's a decent player. I think you got to kind of dial in exactly what this defense is, but he's playing a lot better than what we saw in Arizona. So good job. Like, you traded nothing for a starter at that point. That's a good job. Yeah, please throw it to Darren Waller.
I just can't really wrap my head around the roster construction, all the redundancy with all these different pieces that you got who all are not really game breakers in the skill position groups. The fact that you have such a weak interior of your offensive line, and that Daniel Jones literally turns into an absolute clown when he's pressured up the middle, like that was a miss. The fact that you have a defensive coordinator who likes to blitz and likes to leave his cornerbacks on islands, but you're trotting you gave him Trey Hawkins and Deonte Banks to try to solve this as rookie cornerbacks. Like, that wasn't going to work. I'm just, there's like fatal flaws in the way that they are ultimately rostered. And we kind of talked about it a little in the preseason, but I just didn't think it was going to get this bad this quickly. I thought Dable and Mike Kafka would have something offensively to keep them in games, to score into the 20s. Not this. This is awful.
Yeah. They didn't address the big thing is, if you pay your quarterback, especially what you paid him, and you made the commitment to a man, you gave him that ring, you probably need to figure something out in the wide receiver room.
Geno Smith warming up like someone who's going to return to the game, says Dan Dugan.
I like that. I like to hear it. I should look to see what we have for player props here. I got a jet as soon as this goes. I forgot that we dropped our kid off at a volleyball game. I'm supposed to get her. She's like, hey, Dad, the game's over. Can you come get me?
Yeah. That's cool.
I'm doing a halftime hunt.
That's cool.
We didn't even win, so.
That's cool.
Nice job, Stewartville. Yeah, I need an interception thrown by my man, Danny J, and I need Danny Joe. I'm going to just start calling Danny Joe. Sounds like a child. And then some Waller. Some Waller would be nice. And some points. And by the time I got to it, it was 21. So that's where I'm grading it, because that's where my money's at.
I guess Geno Smith.
Maybe we don't need to do back-to-back primetime games in the Meadowlands. The weather's really nice too. When I saw this total was coming down, I'm like, oh no, is the weather getting nasty?
I mean, you guys know what's coming, right? Bills Giants is coming up on Sunday Night Football in 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, we have a lot of these.
We're nowhere close to out of the woods with terrible New York football in primetime. Ooh, that's a good question.
If you have those props for like how many games a series will go, I like that one to go to the third game, the Rangers series. I think the Twins probably get swept because that's what the Twins do. Going to the game tomorrow, no big deal. Tickets were like $18. It's so embarrassing. These are playoff tickets. You know how expensive it was to go to? I went to a game in like 2008 or 6 or something, in the Metrodome, and it was an obscene amount I paid for back then. Fuck, there's $9 tickets in the upper deck. That place will not be filled tomorrow. It's a 3 p.m. game on like a Tuesday. I don't know. I guess we didn't really do that before. Used to be a primetime team. Yeah, bet against the Twins, make money season. Although it is the wild card. So, but I got to run.
All right, man.
See you guys. Good luck. Have fun. Let's get some points.